All right, welcome back. In this video, we will be setting up Meeting Room 365 meeting room displays on managed iOS devices using SimpleMDM. Now, you can choose from a variety of MDM software. For the Apple ecosystem, most of it works almost identically. They all use single app mode to enable Kiosk Mode, which is managed by Apple, so you're not going to have much variation between how these platforms work. They also all either use the AppConfig standard or managed configurations to send configurations to your displays. So since the APIs are controlled by Apple, almost all of these MDM systems are going to work pretty much the same for mobile devices in the iOS ecosystem. So if you go through this process and watch how it works for SimpleMDM, you should have a good understanding of how it will work on another MDM you might choose. So, why do I need an MDM? Basically, if you want to remotely manage, wipe, install updates, and configurations for your devices, you're going to want an MDM. For iOS devices, it's also one of the only ways to enable single app mode. The other is with Apple Configurator, which you can look into if you'd like. It's free. It's a little more complicated to set up. If you have a small number of devices, it's free. It gives you autonomous single app mode, which is your full kiosk lockdown, and that's something you can look into. All right, so once you sign up for SimpleMDM, it'll lead you through a process of creating an Apple certificate. That Apple certificate helps you to manage your devices through Apple's push certificate portal. Basically, they generate a certificate signing request, you upload it to the Apple website that they give you, you download it, and that lets you manage all of the devices in your organization. So here's kind of what it looks like. Go to Apple's push certificate portal, you upload that certificate. You download the certificate from Apple, you upload it to SimpleMDM, and you're ready to start setting up iOS devices. So you go to Enroll Devices under SimpleMDM, and that'll give you the option to do automated enrollment, one-time enrollment. It'll give you a couple options. And then once you've enrolled devices, they will show up under devices. Now, setting up Meeting Room 365 will be the next step. If you go to Catalog, you'll add an app. You can add Meeting Room 365 from the Apple App Store. You search for Meeting Room 365. You'll find it right here. You can add it to your list of apps. And once you add it to your list of apps, you can go into it and you can configure your AppConfig settings. Now we have two ways that you can go about this. You can either create a separate profile for every display and include your display key in that. And then you push a profile to each display separately. And let's see. That looks something like this. You add display key and foo bars. The new way of doing it is you can set a domain key and a display ID, which you get from Meeting Room 365 admin portal. You pull up devices under the Meeting Room 365 admin portal, give you a domain key and a display ID you can copy. Now what the display ID is this just gives you a string that you can you're basically using the wildcards supported by your MDM to send a device name or a serial number or some unique identifier or combination of identifiers to Meeting Room 365 along with your domain key. And then that will populate a list of devices, and then you can assign displays to those devices from Meeting Room 365. So I'll show you what that looks like. You can see right here, I'm using the device name and the model and the serial number and our domain key, and that securely tells Meeting Room 365 that this device belongs to our account, our organization. And then you can go in, assign display to device. And then every 5 minutes, the display will check in and update its assignments, and your iPad will update automatically. All right. Now, once you've set up your managed configuration, that's under the app catalog, you assign that to your devices that you've added. So you basically just create an assignment group, name it, and then you're going to search an app and then search for a device and assign that app to the device. It'll get delivered onto the device or installed from the App Store, and your managed configuration will also be in place. So that will automatically set up your tablets. If you've added your domain key and your wildcard device ID, it'll automatically set up all your tablets. They'll appear in the Meeting Room 365 admin portal, and then you can assign keys from there. Let's see. The last thing to cover is locking down your devices. For iOS, you have two options. The first is guided access. You enable guided access on the display, and that will prevent the user from exiting the app. Pretty good for small deployments. For larger deployments with an MDM, you're going to want to use single app mode. You go under SimpleMDM, under profiles. That's where you can create a profile that includes single app mode. And you will need Apple Configurator to push that out. Each device must be enrolled through Apple Configurator under supervised mode, and then you can set it to single app mode in SimpleMDM. This is pretty much the same for Jamf Pro or Hexnode, any of the MDMs I've tested. Let's see. That should be it. So basically, first thing you're going to want to do is go into the Meeting Room 365 admin portal, head to the devices page. You'll get instructions on how to configure your MDM, including a domain key and some sample display IDs for a couple of popular MDMs. You copy those into either a profile or your app managed configuration in SimpleMDM. Then you assign the app or profile to your devices, and then that will populate a list of managed devices inside Meeting Room 365, which you can assign keys to. And if you need to remove management, you just select the first option, remove display. That should be it. If you have any questions, please reach out to support.